We'll talk a lot more about Liverpool in a little while. The cheers you can hear are because the pictures you are seeing, the Newcastle fans are seeing as well. So they saw the engraver Les putting Newcastle United onto the trophy. They see Dan Burn holding up his winners 25 shirt, which has got Sam Fender written underneath as well. They are seeing exactly what people are seeing at home.
Yeah, no, fantastic. You know, they've waited a long time. And we spoke about at the start of the show, 70 years since they last tasted victory here at Wembley, and you know, they're going to enjoy this. They're going to stay here. I don't think we'll get out of Wembley tonight. I'm not sure we'll get out of London tonight, but you know, they deserve their celebrations today.
Look, if you are connected to Liverpool, this is a disappointing afternoon. But aside from that, you'd either have to have a heart of stone or be a Sunderland fan to not feel some kind of warmth and joy for the fans in particular of this football club.
Absolutely, Mark. They've had a lot of pain. They've had to really suffer. They've been at Wembley many times and things haven't gotten their way, not performed at this level. I think Shay said it right at the start of the show. He said it just feels different this time. 2 years ago they were here. It was almost like they were making up the numbers. But from minute one, I remember Bruno Guimaraes running onto the pitch before the game started. I was like, wow, he means business. And so did his team. They won every second ball. They were much better in possession. They got all the right details of the set pieces. They exploited Liverpool's weaknesses, and they were fantastic today. I must admit, so you have to congratulate them. Liverpool hopefully will, obviously I'd love to see them get that league title wrapped up, but you have to congratulate what Newcastle have done. They were magnificent today.
Did it surprise you? I mean, Jamie Carragher said they battered Liverpool today. Did it surprise you how dominant they were for large periods of that game?
I think the energy levels seemed to be higher than Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool had extra time midweek at Paris Saint-Germain. I was saying to Jamie off, I was surprised that Arne Slot didn't change it against Southampton between the two Paris Saint-Germain games to freshen his squad up. They did look a bit flat, a wee bit tired today, Liverpool. But I just don't want to talk anything else of the Newcastle, the levels they performed. I mean, Joe Linton was all over the park, covered every blade of grass, and he was celebrating tackles like he was scoring goals at times, and that lifted the fans. And I don't know, Mark, you can't say anything negative with this Newcastle team. I mean, to see the engraver on the trophy do that was just something special as well.
And as you can see, they've changed their shirts. They have winners 25 shirts on as they go up those steps. Peter Drury.
Well, thank you, Mark. And just think of the greats, the generations who haven't had these moments in a Newcastle shirt. It didn't happen for Super Mac or Terry Mack or Keegan or Waddle or Gascoigne or Beardsley, for Ginola or Ferdinand, Shay Given, Super Alan Shearer. None of them got what these guys are getting now. How proud, you can't help reflecting, would Bobby Robson be in this moment? 70 years of Newcastle people who didn't experience what Bruno Guimaraes and crew are going to experience now.
No, it's absolutely magnificent. It really is. Those fans behind that goal, a lot of them, most of them, never seen silverware, never seen Newcastle United win a trophy, which is just incredible. But that's about to change, and they're going to see the captain and the manager lift silverware for the first time in 56 years, the first time in 70 years. I know we keep repeating it, but for a club the size and scale of Newcastle, in my first 10 years doing this job, it was so sad going up to St James's Park. The atmosphere had gone, but it's back.
Well, they're the 24th different winners of the Football League Cup, the first time winners since Swansea 12 years ago. 1969 Budapest, Joe Harvey, Bobby Moncur and his crew, always revered but no longer the last. And for a Wembley moment like this, 70 years, a whole Geordie lifetime since a Scottish wing half called Jimmy Schooler was handed the cup by the Queen. And now a big broad boy from Blythe scores a goal, and Newcastle United are winners again. He could reach up and touch the Wembley arch. And there's the man whose privilege it is. Kieran Trippier, captain when they lost a couple of years ago, but ready to share the moment. a winner's medal. And behind him, the trophy.
I'm delighted for Eddie Howe, I really am.
For the first time since forever. In glorious black and white, the winners are Newcastle United. Newcastle's day, and boy is this going to be Newcastle's night. Shares in Newquay Brown are rocketing, big market is where it's at, and let tomorrow morning look after itself.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Not what we expected at the start of the day, but those Newcastle fans, I drove up this morning, thousands of them on the motorway, taking them 5 and 6 hours to get here, and their dreams have come true.
Well, Mark, for how many years, for our lifetimes, we have asked ourselves the question rhetorically and out loud, what will it be like when Newcastle finally win one? We're finding out.
Very nice, Peter and Gary, and we are finding out, and we are going to find out over the coming days as well, because these celebrations are going to last and last and last. And you can see Shearer on the big screen here, which is why they're cheering. But about 15 minutes ago, I texted him, "Are you calm?" I can't tell you what he replied. Again, it's taken off there. It is kind of, I know it's hard if you've got the Liverpool connections, but as regards English football, the more teams that win trophies, the better, really.
No, I've said that for a long time. I mean, the way the game's become, there's too many teams now. I'm talking about big teams, and Newcastle being one of them, but not anymore. I've gone too long without winning a trophy. You think of Tottenham, you think of Aston Villa, you think of Everton, Newcastle before. These are huge football clubs, and obviously, I'm gutted Liverpool didn't win today, but if there was any team that you'd probably accept or be happy to lose to, it was probably Newcastle, because they've gone so long, they've got a support, huge support, real passion for the game up in the North East. So, as I said, yeah, it's a tough one to take. If you're going to lose to anyone, it's probably, I'd probably say Newcastle.
We do so many of these games. Take them seriously, because this is what can happen.
Absolutely, and even throughout this tournament, throughout this competition, I remember watching, I did both semi-finals where they were incredible against Arsenal. They bashed them, they got after them, they were aggressive. And what I like about this Newcastle team is they're almost a bit of a throwback, with obviously that new school and being great at all the right details, but they get the ball forward, they win second balls, the midfield's aggressive, they've got people like Joe Linton and Guimaraes in midfield. Dan Burn has been absolutely magnificent at the back. It's really refreshing to see, because week in, week out, I see teams playing out from the back, playing at the goalkeeper, and sometimes it can drive you insane. But this Newcastle side, under that man there, are really refreshing. It's really exciting to see, and I'd like to see teams that do play like this get success, because it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It's just you've got to play with that energy that Newcastle do play with.
People may think as well as, you lot in the media bang on about Newcastle not having won a trophy for so long, but since they last won one, 31 teams in the football pyramid have won trophies. That's why we've banged on about it.
Yeah, and they've been so close on so many occasions, and as Jamie said, it's you see Newcastle as a big team, and if you see people as a big team, a lot of people say, well, it's about the trophies that you win that make you a big team. And Newcastle haven't been able to do that. The fan base is unbelievable. And hopefully this is the start of a journey that they go on, and it's going to be, you always need that first win, and they've got that now, and hopefully they can take that on and to win more things.
He said, didn't he, right at the start when he took over, the aim is to win a trophy. That's what Eddie Howe said.
I think Led's right. This can be a springboard for what happens next, what happens in the summer recruitment. Does it make them attract new players? Can they compete in the Champions League? Can they get in the Champions League this season? And invariably, I think the new ownership, they want to win the Premier League at some point. I know that doesn't happen overnight, but this is the sort of improvement season after season. I just feel this group of players now, after getting their hands on the silverware today, the amount of pressure that's eased as much as anything. As someone just took the lid off a pressure cooker. The pressure's eases now. And I think teams in the past, getting that first trophy under the belt is massive.
And the one thing they were talking about was Eddie Howe. If he didn't win today, would there be question marks over him? Because you've now gone to 2 finals, you've got into the Champions League, but you still haven't won anything. Now everyone can relax and allow him to carry on doing the job that he's doing, because he's done an absolutely fantastic job here with these Newcastle players.
But when you build a football club, it's progression, it's small steps, isn't it? And their trajectory is going only one way.
Yeah, but this is a massive step. I mean, the Eddie Howe and these players are legends. That's it. It's done in some ways. No matter what happens next with Eddie Howe and this team, they will always be remembered for this. I know what Shay's saying, but we know with the new rules now with PSR, it's difficult in terms of just going out and doing what Chelsea did or Manchester City did originally. So that makes it more difficult. But I mean, for Eddie Howe, I mean, Gary said before how pleased he was for him. I absolutely love Eddie Howe to bits. I think he's a brilliant coach. He's been on a brilliant journey. And Jamie mentioned about the style of play. Eddie Howe was always hammered when he was a coach at Bournemouth for playing the type of way Jamie was mentioned. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But I think since he's come to Newcastle, he's massively improved as a coach. He can play different ways. He can play great football. But what they did today was physically absolutely batter Liverpool.
And there they go with their second trophy lift of the afternoon. They were waiting for Eddie Howe to join them. The champagne has popped, the streamers are going, and Bruno Guimaraes, I don't think he's going to let go of that Carabao Cup. He shared the lift with Kieran Trippier, but they are keeping hold of that. And Jamal Lascelles is in there as well as one of the other leadership groups who is out through injury at the moment. And Jamie Redknapp, Eddie Howe, comes the first Englishman to get his hands on the trophy as a coach since your dad.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. It's actually sad when you think about how long ago that was. I think they went, well, Portsmouth, they were here many years ago. But Eddie deserves it. You know, he's been a brilliant coach. He's so forward-thinking. The job that he's done here. At times they've had their hands behind their back as well, because they haven't perhaps had the finances that everybody expected them to have, but they've done it so well, and he's improved players. Like what he's done with Joe Linton. Joe Linton was like, no disrespect, they were signed as a number 9, didn't work out for him. He's turned into a midfield powerhouse, and that's such credit to the manager. Today, they have no Anthony Gordon, no Hall, didn't matter, not one bit. They were absolutely brilliant today and fully deserved this win.